Now, in today's video, I want to talk about something that I've been meaning to talk about for a long time on this channel, and that is what is the better investment, investing into the stock market or investing into cryptocurrencies? Me personally, I'm an investor into both stocks and cryptocurrencies, so I can assure you that this video is not going to be biased in one way or another. And the second thing that I can assure you is that if you watch this video all the way to the end, then you are going to gather a really good idea on what investment is going to be best for you. So all I ever ask from you guys is to leave this video a like down below, as it helps this video out with the YouTube algorithm. And let's not waste any time, let's jump into it. All right, so what I'm going to do is break this conversation down into 5 different areas. The first thing that I'm going to do is talk about accessibility and the differences between the two. The second thing I'm going to talk about is the volatility in each stocks and crypto. The third thing I'm going to talk about is the long-term potential of success when investing into both of these. The fourth thing I'm going to talk about are the risks. And then finally, what I'm going to do is an overview of both of these investments. All right, so let's start things off with accessibility. And in today's world, investing into both stocks and cryptocurrencies is actually a really easy thing to do. However, it hasn't always been like this. With stocks in the old days, what you actually had to do was physically call up an individual broker and actually instruct them to make the investment for you. What you would then have to do is find a way of transferring them your money, which could have a delay on it as well. And this process was just completely bloated and inefficient. However, lucky for us, as we live in the modern world of technology, and just because over the last 10 years there's been such a surge of retail investors coming into the market, so people like you and me, everyday investors, this has caused online tech companies to create solutions to be able to trade your stocks online without the use of an independent broker or anything like that. Basically, what you can go ahead and do is sign up to an individual investment platform online, and you can pretty much be investing within 5 minutes of signing up. Now, crypto, however, as they were only actually created in 2009 and they are a technology-based product, everything has been done online anyways. The way that you can buy different cryptocurrencies is by signing up. Instead of what is called a stockbroker, you sign up to a crypto exchange. The most popular exchange out there at the moment is one that is called Coinbase, which I still believe to this day is the best one for the beginner investor, but there are more advanced ones like Binance and Kraken that you can jump over to the more you learn about trading in cryptocurrencies. But all in all, stocks and crypto, extremely accessible and extremely easy to get started. Next up, we need to talk about volatility, and this is where we're actually going to see some real big differences between the two. Starting off with cryptocurrencies this time, and basically with cryptos, the way that they are valued and the way that their price goes up and down at the moment is very much reputational based. The reality is, when you are investing into cryptos, we don't actually ever have a calm idea on what is actually going to happen. For example, last week we actually saw the first ever country in the world accept Bitcoin as the legal tender in terms of their currency. And this would make you think, right, surely this is going to push up the price of Bitcoin. This is amazing news for the worldwide adoption of this currency. In fact, quite the opposite happened, where just a couple of hours later, we saw a flash crash where pretty much every single cryptocurrency out there, bar a couple, dropped more than 10%, pretty much in sync as well, in literally a matter of minutes, which makes you think, how is this possible? And this is just simply the extreme volatility that we face every single day as cryptocurrency investors. Now with stocks, this is pretty much completely the opposite. Yes, you do still get high volatility days, but nowhere near the levels that you will see with crypto. But why is this? Well, with stocks, what you are doing is already investing into established businesses that already have a track record over a long period of time. The second thing is that the stock market has actually been around for an extremely long time, almost 400 years to be precise, and over that time, what you will mostly see is a trend going upwards with the stock market. Now, if you are a long-term investor, this is something that you always have in the back of your mind. So if there was a sell-off of a stock, once again, because you know that the general trend is going to go up over a long period of time, yes, you're going to see smaller up and down days, but you know the longer term trend is going to be up. This would of course make you feel a lot more comfortable about your investment, potentially stopping you from panic selling, whereas crypto might might be something a little bit different because we are completely stepping into the unknown. All right, so let's take a look at long-term potential between the two. Now, we already kind of know from the last point that if we invest in solid companies in the stock market, the general trend over a long period of time is going to be up. So we know that the long-term potential of investing, like I said, in the long term with the stock market is going to be good. But is it the same with cryptos? Well, in my opinion, I think it is, but even more so than stocks. Now, let's say we were to get worldwide adoption of cryptocurrencies and different blockchain technologies. I'm pretty sure that we can all sit here and agree that the price of these currencies are going to go absolutely through the roof. What you will see every single day is a new expert coming out predicting the price of Bitcoin. Let's say over the past couple of months, I've seen someone predict it's going to be 100 grand by the end of next year. I've seen someone say it's going to be 250 grand by the end of this year. And the other day, I actually saw someone say it was going to be £1 million in literally 2 to 3 years' time. Now, whilst every single person that has predicted this price is completely lying because they don't actually have a clue, they've just pulled a number out of their head. One thing that we cannot deny is the potential of it because, like I said, it can potentially happen. If we just go back kind of 5 or 6 years ago, the price of Bitcoin was like $100 or something like that. I'll throw up the exact figure on the screen. But if you're telling me that we can go from $100, let's say, to 50,000, of course you can say that you can go from 50,000 to 1 million. So the potential in Bitcoin, the potential in cryptocurrencies is completely endless in my opinion. So when it comes to comparing the two for long-term potential with the stock market, of course, if you invest into solid companies over a long period of time, the usual trend is that you are going to make money. With cryptos, I personally believe that the long-term potential is much higher because, of course, we've seen the rise of Bitcoin over the past couple of years, but along with that comes risk. And that's what we're going to be talking about next. And let's actually start off with crypto. So the first big risk when investing into cryptocurrencies is that cryptos do not get taken on as a mainstream thing or a mainstream technology that we use on our everyday society. If this was to ever happen, which in my opinion, I don't think it will, cryptos would essentially become worthless and as much as what they were worth maybe 8 or 9 years ago. Like I said, I don't think this is going to happen, but the risk of this happening is of course going to be there. You also have the risk of governing bodies like the SEC stepping in and placing restrictions on certain cryptocurrency companies and things like that. Recently in the last week, we actually saw the SEC threaten to sue Coinbase over their new staking product that they're about to launch. This actually caused Coinbase as a stock to go down, and also I personally believe it was a catalyst to another crypto dip. Another risk of cryptocurrencies as of late is falling victim to a pump and dump scheme. Now, basically a pump and dump scheme is where a group of investors create a coin, because what you can do with cryptos is you can create a coin literally within a day and have it listed and have people available to invest into your coin when it actually doesn't really do anything. And basically a pump and dump, like I was saying, is a group of investors that will create a coin. From there, they will actually make up fake news, fake rumors, and publicize kind of different good things about this kind of cryptocurrency they've just created on the fly. They'll pay influencers as much as they can afford to promote this product and promote this coin. And what this will essentially do is get investors, everyday investors like me and you, to potentially buy into that fake news and invest into that coin. Now, what of course this will actually do is push the price of that coin way up. And when the pump and dumpers hit a certain target price, what they will actually do is a coordinated sell-off where they sell and take all of the profits, crashing the price again and leaving the everyday investors with absolutely no money, because the cryptocurrency is literally worthless because it doesn't have any use case. It was simply created just as a pump and dump. Like I said, this is happening a lot recently, and the worst thing about this is that these scammers are recruiting clueless celebrities that just want to take that paycheck just to promote whatever they can get their hands on. And of course, with celebrities and top-notch influencers, they're going to have a big influence on our modern society, which is going to lure in a lot of naive and beginner investors. So be very careful when you are investing into cryptocurrencies for those pump and dump schemes. Now, when it comes to investing into stocks and the risks of doing this, I personally believe the risks are much lower. The first risk that you're going to have is, of course, the price. Now, I've already mentioned about the volatility. With stocks, you're investing into real companies with real track records, and the volatility is going to be much lower, and the chances of those companies going bankrupt are going to be much lower as well. In terms of getting your stocks account hacked or anything like that, unless you are not following just basic password rules and setting yourself a strong password, or your computer doesn't get hacked, which is very rare as well, you are probably going to be fine. Now, what I want to do is actually take a broad overview look at both of these types of investments and just give you one final comparison. And basically, with both of these investments, in my personal opinion, I believe that they are both great ways to invest your money, but I think each one has its own benefits and limits. When it comes to investing into stocks, I personally believe if you approach it with a long-term mindset and invest into solid companies, then over time, I really do believe that you will make some money and the risk is going to be generally low. With cryptos, I personally believe that the potential rewards in the future are going to be much higher, but of course, with this comes a lot higher volatility in the short term, and then in the long term, the risk is much higher as well. When it comes to answering the question as to what one I would invest into, I'm pretty sure that you know my answer already, and that is going to be both, but I would do this in a calculated fashion. What I currently do right now is put the bulk of my investments into the stock market, and I invest into things like individual companies and funds like index funds and ETFs. But from there, I allocate a small portion of my overall portfolio towards investing into cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, and my latest one that I've just invested into, Cardano. Yes, I may not make as much money as those that go all in on cryptocurrencies, but the thing for me is that I can go to bed at night and sleep well, knowing that I have got a nicely balanced portfolio. But there you go, that is my breakdown on investing into the stock market or investing into cryptocurrencies. What I want to hear from you guys is, what do you invest into? Are you more crypto heavy? Are you more stock heavy? What are your opinions? Let me know in the comments section down below. Obviously, hit a like if you did enjoy this video, and maybe share it with a friend that you may think will find it useful as well. But apart from that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.